So hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Ralph Shearing. I'm the president of Print Silver, a new company and a new project. So we trade on the CSE under PRCN, the OTC under PRNCF, and we trade in Frankfurt under T130. Okay, forward-looking statements, as everyone understands, we'll be talking about a lot of forward-looking statements coming out on the presentation. So we'll start with our direct management directors. So myself, Ralph Shearing, president and director. I am the former CEO of Luca Mining, in fact, a company I started many years ago, and it became quite successful over the last few years. We brought a mine into production in Mexico. We bought another mine in Mexico. 2 years ago, I stepped aside because that company was growing and needed more miners, and I'm more on the exploration side. I'm an exploration geologist with over 35 years of experience in managing public companies at a senior level. Other directors, Robert Rickson, he was a member of the company that we purchased to actually acquire the Nevada projects. Rob's a venture capital guy out of Hong Kong. He's raised lots of money and run companies. So he's got good experience. Neil McRae has over 30 years of experience in management and investor relations for quite high-profile companies such as First Majestic Silver, Farallon Mining, Sherwood Copper. Rob's a great director, a very knowledgeable man. Rob Scott, our CFO. Rob's had a lot of experience in raising money. He's raised over $200 million in his past ventures, which were Great Bear Resources, Valdor Metals, Riverside Resources, Captain Silver, and First Helium. And then we move over to Daryl Radar, joined the company recently. Daryl's the president and CEO of Minerum Gold, a silver explorer in Mexico. And he's raised over $150 million in his career with his companies. Defiant Silver, Impact Silver, various companies have been involved in. Collectively, the directors and management, we've raised over $500 million for various companies we've worked with in the past. So we have a lot of ability to bring in capital for good projects. Just finalizing with Harrison Matson, a very senior geologist running the project on the Print Silver right now. Harrison came along with the deal and was a great addition to the company. Share capital structure, just under 50 million shares issued with options and warrants, plus rights. We get up to about 70 million fully diluted. These rights are additional shares that may be vended or may be issued to the vendors of the projects if we hit certain milestones. Newsletter coverages. We have a lot of newsletters following us, writing us up, recommending the company to their subscribers. Gold newsletter with Brian Lundeen, Chen Lin, what is Chen buying, what is Chen selling? Jeff Clark from the Pay Dirt Prospector, and Peter Spina from silverseek.com. Now we have a quick look at the projects here. So we have 2 projects in the company, which we acquired in the Nevada subsidiary that we purchased a number of months ago. One is the Print Silver Mine. This is the one we're concentrating on. These concessions or claims up here cover a very large porphyry copper-moly target. I'll explain a little bit about that near the end of the project, but we're really concentrating on this silver deposit. So it's a flagship asset, near-term development potential. It's in historic mining district. It has over 129 drill holes into it already. So we would consider it a brownfields target, not a young exploration target. And that immediate exploration target is outlined between 25 and 43 million tons at these grades. Note the manganese. Manganese is a critical metal in the US, as is silver and gold. So we have 3 critical metals in this deposit, and we intend to explore it out and bring it, publish a resource in the coming months. Mineralization is near surface in open all directions, and a drill program is underway. We have a 6,500 meter drill program. We're about 5 holes into it right now. So we'll be drilling probably around 25 holes, and we're actually conducting the financing now to try and increase the size of that drill program. So the silver project is in the historic mining area called Pioche, a highland mining district. The production out of there in the past, in the early turn of the century, was 6.7 million tons, 135 grams silver, 0.7 gold with good lead and zinc numbers. The Prince mine itself, our project, produced over 1.2 million tons, 100 grams silver, half a gram gold, 4.5% zinc, 2.8 lead, and that gives us 11 zinc equivalent. There is also good manganese in this deposit. Predominantly mined underground and exploited from sulfide replacements in limestone, oxidized magnesium-bearing ore. Historic drilling shows that this deposit occurs over this area, at least 2.4 kilometers in strike and over 500 meters wide. And we are drilling now to work towards finding the ultimate dimensions of the deposit. Mineralization is open in all directions. So the historical drilling results showed an exploration target. So this exploration target's an interesting situation. So a private company called Omni GeoX out of Australia we're attempting to put together a JORC standard report to publish it. But because the drill holes were a little too widely spaced, they didn't meet the criteria to publish under JORC, but they did come up with an exploration target. And that exploration target, as I mentioned, is between 25 to 42 million tons and between upper and lower grades. So upper grades here, lower grades here across all of the grades, and look at the manganese, 0.36 to 0.43 manganese. That was based on 129 drill holes. They put that into a wireframe and outlined the exploration target. So historic drilling shows strong gold and silver values occurring within the sediment-hosted PO shale. And that's a part of the deposit that was notoriously overlooked. It was sparsely assayed in earlier drilling, but it has quite good intersections. For example, 65 grams over 40 meters of silver, over half a gram of gold with base metals, 80 grams silver over 24 meters, higher grade zones, and more intersections in this PO shale, again, which were the overall of the 129 holes, the PO shale was only sparsely mineralized. So this presents another target that can help increase the resources that we're after. So it's primed for exploration, drilling underway. Manganese is a significant byproduct. We are conducting metallurgical testing to show that we should be able to extract the manganese in a high-grade manganese product. So this really is we call it low-hanging fruit for the current drill campaign to extend known mineralization. And slide. So if we look conceptually, what does this exploration target look like on a conceptual basis? So we envision a large silver equivalent resource to be able to be defined by our drill program. And we're using the exploration target's midpoints from what I showed you before, 35 million tons at these grades. And then if we look at peer companies exploring similar deposits using similar hydrometallurgical testing, South 32's Hermosa Clark deposit had recoveries of 85% zinc or silver, 84 zinc, and 95 manganese. Aftermath Silver's Berlanga deposit at these recoveries. So if we use the average of these recoveries and the midpoints of the exploration target, and we don't include manganese, then we can make a gold or silver equivalent calculation of about 102 million silver equivalent ounces. And if you add manganese to that, we could get up to over 150 million silver equivalent ounces. So this is a significant target that we hope to fully identify. Now I'll stress, it's a conceptual look. We don't have a resource yet. This exploration program is designed to infill drill so that we can publish a resource Q1 or Q2 of next year. This is what the deposit looks like. So that's the wireframed outline of the bed so far. This is a silver assay highlight. So if you could look, some very spectacular intersections. This one hole had 50 meters of 98 grams silver, 22 meters of 86 grams silver, 25 meters, 104 grams, all in the same hole. And then 6.1 meters over here of 233 grams silver, 24 meters, 123 silver. So you can see throughout this area, we've had very good intersections. A lot of the underground mining was in this area prior to I think 2000s up to 2022 is when the majority of the mining occurred. So we have some underground drill holes from that mining as well. If you look at the gold assays, similar results in these PO shales that was only sparsely assayed in the past, but decent results, 13 meters of 1.6, 18 meters of 1.6, 15 meters of 1.4, 10 meters of 1.3. So that's a whole new target that we intend to identify. We'll be assaying everything very thoroughly so that we can get a complete picture of the mineralization on the project and pull it into a resource report. This is a long section under PRC 11. You can see the excellent intersections along that hole. And the main area that they were mining is down in through here, which was massive replacement beds in the carbonate limestone. But this PO shale is mineralized in various areas, which we've seen from looking at the old drill holes. So we believe we'll be able to develop more gold and silver in the PO shale, as well as the high-grade mantle replacements, particularly along this bed from the historic mining in the past. Now, if we look at a peer comparison and what would Prince Silver look like if we can get our 100 million silver equivalent ounce deposit with our publication of the resource. So if we look at some of our peer companies like Kootenay Silver, their grade, silver equivalent grade 106, 214 million silver equivalent ounces. They have a $135 million market cap. Silver Storm, 184 silver equivalent with 225 million silver equivalent ounces, 180 million market cap. GR Silver, 129 million market cap with a silver equivalent or ounces of 134. And then Aftermath Silver, 101, 264 million market cap. So Prince Silver sits around here, 130 grams of silver equivalent grade. And if we get 100 million silver equivalent ounces, then we're sitting at 36 million, 40 to 40 million market cap, depending on the price what day. So we have a lot of room to grow here. That's the opportunity that we see and are presenting to shareholders, that if we hit what we believe we can in our drill program, then we have an easy double, triple on the stock, depending on how the resource comes out. So let's look quickly at the porphyry copper skarn deposit. That's up in this area in here, Stampede Gap Project. It's an extensive porphyry system, a huge alteration zone. The Australian group that we purchased the project from did some IP geophysics, induced polarization geophysics. They went in and they drilled these drill holes over here, and they hit one hole hit over 450 meters of ore grade molybdenum, very anomalous copper and gold throughout the hole. They came back in and did a more sophisticated induced polarization survey program and identified their targets here. So it looks like they just may have missed them. Now, however, our approach on this project is it's a large project and it will take a fair amount of money to explore it properly. So we're concentrating on the Prince project first because it's a silver project that's there and it's easily drilled off. We are planning to offer up this porphyry copper project to a larger company to either come in and do a joint venture or potentially fund us for exploration. Now, we're not afraid to try to explore it ourselves should we get access to capital. So if we achieve what we believe we can achieve on the Prince Silver and we get a higher market cap and actually can raise some significant exploration money for this porphyry copper system, then we can advance it ourselves. But the goal right now is to try to find a partner. But it's a very interesting, compelling porphyry copper moly gold target. So the Prince Silver project includes significant manganese values, and manganese is in high demand these days for lithium-ion battery production. It's projected the demand will outpace base case supply for manganese. It's a strategic metal in the U.S. Critical metal projects in North America are key to focus for investment and fast becoming a cornerstone of economic and national security. So our project anywhere from 25 to 42 million tons outlined in the exploration target, with 3.6 to 4.3% manganese. So the metallurgical testing we are conducting is following the same metallurgical processes that Aftermath Silver has successfully achieved their recoveries of manganese and gold and silver and lead. So we are using the same lab and we're using the same type of hydrometallurgical process testing. So to wrap things up, Prince is an undervalued silver asset in one of the prime jurisdictions in the world. Nevada is a great place to be exploring for metals these days. It hosts numerous copper, moly, gold, porphyries, silver deposits, gold deposits. Prince Silver, we consider a brownfield asset. It's got expansion potential. The exploration target, as I mentioned before, 25 to 43 million tons at these types of grades with manganese. And we have a tight share structure. Around 50 million shares are issued and outstanding. Catalyst coming up for the company is the drill programs underway. We are looking at and acquiring additional ground in the area that we think is prospective. So we hope to be bringing a lot of news to the market with drilling results, building the company up, adding to management. So we've got a good plan to make this a substantial company in the near future. And that's the quick presentation. So I guess I could open the floor up to questions.
Yeah, great. Thank you. And just a reminder, if you got any questions, type in those Q&A box and I'll get to them. I got some questions while we wait. This manganese credit is quite significant for you.
It really is. I mean, and if we're able to achieve recoveries as the peers I mentioned, then that adds a lot of value to the project, and it gives us a potential, another reason to fast track the development.
Is that like is that your kind of like your tipping point on this project? Like if you figure out how to like engineer this thing properly, does that make this a slam dunk?
Yeah, I mean, as an exploration guy, it's a slam dunk for an exploration project. Now, obviously, the metallurgical recoveries are going to be key. We have to show that we can successfully recover the metals that are in the deposit. So the drilling we're doing now is going to really be a slam dunk to upgrade that exploration target to a published resource. And we expect to achieve that Q1 or Q2 of next year based on the drill program we have underway now. And then the metallurgical process, I mean, the metallurgy on these can take anywhere from 1 to 2 years, various stages to get through the whole thing. So our first stage is underway, and it might take another 1 year to 1.5 to 2 years to perfect it. But we have the benefit of using the same lab that Aftermath used, as well as the same metallurgical process. So we should be able to speed that up. But that's having perfected metallurgy, and if we get similar results as our peers, then it would be a slam dunk, is the way you term it, sir, for certain.
Awesome. How much cash do you guys got left right now?
Well, we've got about $3.5 to $4 million. We're actually conducting a raise right now.
Okay.
We're doing a $3 million Canadian raise. And so that is underway. We're going to be doing a first closing on that in the next couple of days. So there should be a press release out on that soon. There's still an opportunity for any interested investors if you meet the criteria and exemptions for participating.
Perfect. Thank you, Ralph, for your time today. Great presentation.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. And
yeah, we're watching it closely.
okay, thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.